Hey, everybody. It's your boy, Ken White, host of the Southside Unicorn Show. And today is a special show to me, and it should be to you too. You know how I love Star Wars. You know I love me some Star Wars. Well, if you follow with the genre of Star Wars, the way it went with my introduction to the talk radio game, there's a gentleman named Phil Naiman that I look at like Qui-Gon Jinn because, Qui-Gon Jinn discovered Anakin, but he turned Anakin over to Obi-Wan Kenobi. Well, in the radio game, the gentleman I have on, the person I have the pleasure of interviewing today is my Obi-Wan Kenobi, Lou Desmond, of Lou Desmond and Company.
So you're saying I'm old, broke down, and have white hair?
Yeah, something like that.
Perfect, and live out in the desert, and nobody really has any use for me anymore. So, all right, I'm amongst the sand people.
There, you know what? That's kind of ironic because you are in the desert, aren't you?
I am. I'm not in the desert. I'm certainly off the beaten path. Not a lot of people know this because I didn't initially make a big deal out of it because my business is still in Southern California for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But I could not take Southern California anymore.
Got on your nerves, huh?
Yeah, it was just too much. My kids were reaching, middle school age, and it was just too much.
So let me ask you a question real quick. Yes. Just real quick. Well, how do you feel about the recall? If the recall had gone the other way, would you have come back?
Kenny, I've been gone for 3 years.
You ain't coming back.
No. No, we bought a house up in Ocean Shores, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 7 years ago. And we bought the house for my in-laws, my wife's mother and her stepdad. So we started spending the summers and a significant part of the holidays up there, and we realized, we could run our business in Southern California from here.
Wow.
We don't have to be there. And so this is pre-pandemic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I first started doing remote meetings and I'm using Skype to attend meetings with clients and stuff, that was like very strange to people that I wasn't like personally there. I'm this face on the screen. But of course, having done radio for almost 30 years, no, more than 30 years, having done radio for more than 30 years, the idea of communicating through a microphone was not at all
foreign to you.
Foreign to me. So I am on 8.5 acres. I'm surrounded by old growth trees.
Wow.
I'm on a dirt gravel road that is a private road. I am the small property amongst all my neighbors.
With 8 acres, you're the small property.
8.5, yes.
8.5
small
acres.
Property.
Now, let me get this straight. I want to visualize this for myself. 8.5 acres. We're talking 2 football fields.
Kenny, my property is 3 times the size of your average local park.
That's what I thought. My goodness. So, I mean, if you see somebody coming down your road, they better be coming to see you or they got problems, huh?
Well, they better be FedEx or UPS or the Postal Service, or the one service that we pay for that's municipal is our garbage, which is picked up once every 2 weeks.
Okay.
But other than that, no, unless you're a neighbor or a veterinarian or somebody that's been called.
Mm-hmm.
I have chickens, cows,
wow,
pigs. My daughter raises pygmy goats with my wife and shows them at shows. I raise a lot of my own vegetables. I have about a dozen different fruit trees. We just went through the harvest season here. So I'm going to be I've been doing a ton of canning over the past few weeks. And then this weekend, my neighbor and I get together and we make apple cider. We pool our apples and our pear apples because better for cider if you have different kinds of apples. You
You're
don't
making
want
my
all
mouth
one
water.
kind.
I love apple cider. Wow.
You don't want all one kind.
Uh-huh.
You want different notes. It's like winemaking, right?
Mm-hmm. I was going to ask you that. Does it have an alcoholic content to it? Or?
Oh, we make hard cider as well as non-alcoholic cider.
Okay.
So the hard cider you have to ferment for. It's funny. People think it's a long time. It's a few days.
Really?
Yeah, it's a few days to a couple of weeks.
And you got some hard cider.
And you have hard cider, maybe 6 to 9% alcohol content.
Better than a beer. A beer is what, 2 points or something like that?
Yeah, and I like the hard cider because there's very little carbonation.
Wow. Well, you're gonna make me have to come up there and get some of that.
Well, I'll send it. You know what? I special ordered almost 100 special bottles.
Wow.
And I'm technically not supposed to ship it.
Mm-hmm.
But
we're going to do that, right? We're going to do that.
Wink, wink, maybe. Okay. But so there you go. I'm not saying on the air that I'm going to break federal law. Okay. I'm just not going to do that.
I hear you.
When I fly down, maybe I'll give you some.
There it is. Lou Desmond's hard cider. That's got to be it. What are you going to put on the front? You know what? I remember your logo that you have for the Lou Desmond and Company show.
Yeah.
You're going to put that on the bottle, right?
Oh man, I'm not branding it and selling it. I just give it to people that I like, and I drink it a little bit myself.
There it is.
Personally, I like hard cider with breakfast. No, I'm just kidding. That was actually, our founding fathers actually drank hard cider all day long.
Is that right?
It was a very normal thing to drink hard cider with breakfast.
And so that's why they came up with this crazy idea of a constitutional republic. They're sitting there sipping on the cider going, we should let everybody have their own freedom.
Actually, I think the Greeks and the Romans had a little bit to do with it. But it could have been the hard cider. Who knows? Yeah,
maybe the cider played a slight role in that.
So yeah, I have made a total change of lifestyle.
Wow. So what are you, Farmer Desmond now?
Well, my friends jokingly from Southern California, they call me Farmer Lou.
Farmer Lou. I knew it was going to be something like that. Farmer Desmond, Farmer Lou.
But look, the nice thing for me is the price of bacon isn't going up for me because I have my own pigs.
You just got to fatten them up and make sure they keep their.
We just got 4 piglets.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't raise the pigs on my property. We have a neighbor that has an appropriate area for pigs. Pigs are dirty and they're mean.
What?
Oh, they're mean.
Damn.
Pigs are dirty and they're mean. They are not good with kids. They will bite your hand clean off.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they're not, and they're smart.
They're mean, they're smart. That sounds like my baby mama. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. So one of our neighbors raises pigs, and we all buy piglets, and then they raise them, and we slaughter them. Probably these pigs will be slaughtered. They're
right around Christmas, right?
No, they're 6 to 8 weeks old now, so maybe April, May.
Wow. Okay.
So it's about 6-7 months, but the pig will be almost 300 pounds.
Oh my goodness. And so what, that'll last, I mean, one pig is good for a year, right?
Yeah, you might end up having to buy more bacon because there's only a certain amount.
Because you love bacon.
Right. And then one of our cows, we slaughter one a year and we split it with a neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
A cow should be 500 to 600 pounds hanging weight.
Wow.
And then by the time you trim it all down, maybe 375 to 400 pounds of beef.
You're going to let go some bone and all of that by the time you get the cutting.
Yeah, actually, we keep everything but the head, the tail, and the hooves because we have dogs.
What does that mean?
They cut all the bones into sections. And you roast the bones, and then you give them to your dogs as chew toys.
Oh, man. So they be looking at them cows like, hurry up, right?
Right. So saves a lot of money at Petco.
I'll bet it does. You are living the life, Lou. I mean, that sounds, because I mean, you probably cut your own ribeyes and you still get that little green egg, right?
You should look on my Facebook. I age my own steaks.
Oh man, you're killing me, bro. You're killing me.
So I've set up an aging thing in my outside fridge where one drawer is totally dedicated to it, and I'll take something out of the freezer, let it defrost, wrap it up in the cheesecloth, throw it in the special drawer, and then let it age for 3 weeks to a month.
Wow.
And
so
then,
all you got to do is grow your own mushrooms, and you won't hit.
Hey, I got my own potatoes, man.
I
got
saw
my own
that.
broccoli. I got my own everything else. Mushrooms are dangerous to grow. That's something you want to stay away from.
Watch this. You know me. I always think about songs when I'm happy and whatnot. And as we go into the break, we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, with my mentor, Lou Desmond, who's living the life, man. But as we go on to break, I'm gonna pay him a tribute with this here song. Green Acres is the place to be. Farm living is the life.
Except my wife is more of a farmer than his wife. I'll just put that.
Yeah. So you got a hardcore wife. She's pretty cool people. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after these messages. Go nowhere.
You are listening to the Southside Unicorn Show, hosted by my friend Ken White. He'll be back after these messages.
Hey, it's your boy Ken White, host of the Southside Unicorn Show, and I am here with my mentor, Lou Desmond, of Lou Desmond and Company, and of Desmond Enterprises, if I'm not mistaken,
Desmond
right?
Desmond and Lewis Public Relations.
Desmond and Lewis Public Relations. If you want something done right, you want the people to know what's going on with you, you better get a hold of Lou, because he knows what to do for you.
So we sort of spent the first segment catching up with how my life has completely changed.
Totally.
Now I still do the radio show in Southern California every night at 5, Monday through Friday, KMET, the Mighty Met.
Oh, okay.
So that still happens. I fly to Southern California a couple times a month to meet with clients and do business. And then I come back here to my rural life in Washington.
To your safe haven.
Right. It's not a compound, but it could be very easily.
Easily, yeah.
And yeah, that's great. I have my own chickens, so I have my own eggs, and I have my own cows, so I have my own beef, and I do a lot of deep sea fishing, so I have my own fish. And
oh my goodness,
raise our own pigs, and so I know where all my food is coming from. I have large vegetable garden, which has winter vegetables going right now. I have about a dozen different fruit trees, apples and quinces and pears and pear apples.
Whoa! Stop! Quince,
yeah.
What is a quince?
It sort of looks like a small apple, a little bit harder. And then I've also got pears and a cherry tree and a peach tree.
Look at you. So wait a minute. Let me get this straight. When the scorched earth comes, you're going to be fine.
Kenny, that's the point I was getting to.
Okay, I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
Yeah. Why did my wife and I decide to do this? I'm not sure where all of this is headed. And I want to be sure that me and my family can eat.
Yeah. Same way with Bill Gates, because see, Bill Gates is on the same page with you, because that son of a gun is now the largest farm owner in the world. He owns more farmland than anybody. So maybe he's thinking the same way you are. This is Bill Gates.
Look, I just know this. Everything is getting more expensive.
Yeah.
There's no end to it in sight. Everything is getting harder to get. There's no end to it in sight. I don't like not knowing what's in things that I'm putting in my body and in my children and my wife's body.
True story.
Like fast food. You ever picked up a packaged ham or something at Walmart and take a close look at what's in it?
Well, I don't mess with the swine no more, but yeah, I heard there's a lot of
chicken or beef or whatever.
The little medicines and acetates and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, why is there something called methodextrone?
Yeah.
In my steak.
Huh? No, that doesn't make any sense.
No, I don't. I think now everybody's gonna think I'm nuts and I'm some hippy dippy.
No, that's what I'm glad I got you on the show. We can catch up.
I think a lot of modern sickness
is from the modern day food.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you a question. Let me ask
Yeah.
you a question. Here's the logical question to what you just said. Lou, how you feeling?
I feel great.
Hmm.
I haven't been sick since I moved here.
Wow. That says a lot,
Except
huh?
I got food poisoning once. I ate some bad clam chowder at Pike's Place Market in Seattle. But that was not like a natural, like I got a cold.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I go to California now,
Mm-hmm.
when I come back, I have a scratchy throat and a runny nose.
Whoa. That says a lot.
Because the air quality is so poor compared to where I live now that my system treats it like it's foreign. Whereas before, when you're just living in it, you've adapted to it, but that doesn't mean that it's healthy. I want to know what's in everything I'm eating.
Yeah. And that only makes sense. Yeah.
And that's not to say my kids don't get Hot Pockets and we don't make the occasional hamburger helper or boxed mac and cheese.
But have you just sworn off fast food altogether? There's no number 6, no number 7s in your house?
Kenny, town for us is 18 and a half miles away.
Ooh. So you better not have the munchies.
So if you want to eat something, it better be here in the house. Wow.
So, I can almost feel the translation of your peace and quiet. That has got to be the greatest premium in the world. And this is a question that, do you have like people coming and expecting you to say, what are you growing? We need to see what you're growing, and you can't grow this.
Kenny, if anybody comes down our street that doesn't live here, they get run off.
Is that the government too?
I have never had any government official come to my house in Washington State except for the meter reader.
Wow.
That's it. And the garbage truck twice a month.
Oh my goodness. Now,
we burn most of our trash.
Is that right?
Yeah. All of my neighbors here, we have a designated spot on our property that's a burn pile.
Wow.
Everything that's consumable by flame
goes in that pile.
That's stored up, and then it goes to that pile, and then once every couple months you burn it.
So do you guys sit there with a can of beer and go, yep?
Yeah, actually we do.
Wow, that's cool.
And then there's no waste on my property at all, because if the family doesn't finish eating it, the dogs get a crack at it. If the dogs aren't going to eat it, it goes to the chickens. If the chickens aren't going to eat it,
the pigs got it covered. Yeah.
And if the pigs can't eat it, like it's coffee grounds or eggshells or something, it goes in the compost pile.
Look at you. So you're like a modern day Viking, because that's how they used to do it, right? They'd be eating at the table. When the mutton was done, they just throw it on the floor because the animals got it from there, huh?
Well, we don't quite just.
That's what I'm seeing, Lou. That's the visual I got right now.
It doesn't quite just get thrown on the floor, but it'll go in the dog's bowl.
Okay.
If it's like if it's leftover pork or something that you don't eat, the dogs are. And then if it's leftover rice, it's the chickens. If it's fruit that's fallen off a tree and gone bad, it goes to the pigs. And like I said, if it's coffee grounds or eggshells or something that can't be consumed by one of the animals, it goes to the compost pile.
That's a good deal.
The reason for this, I am not some liberal.
Oh, far be it from you to be a liberal hippie.
Liberal hippie dippy health nut. I'm not doing this for virtue signaling purposes. I simply wanted to have more control over the aspects of my life that are core to your existence. I'm on my own well.
What? Come on, Lou. You don't think you're doing a little bit much right there? You're doing the most. You're gonna be like so self. Watch this. I guess. Do you have solar panels or a windmill?
Some. I have solar panels for a generator.
Okay.
Now I get electricity from the grid. There's electricity that runs down the middle of our street. Which of course, we all had to pay individually to get that extended and hook up to. We're also on septic, so we're not on sewer.
Wow. So you got the big old tank underground that you got to occasionally.
Correct. And there are funny things that come along with this type of living, which you don't realize. And I'll tell you a quick funny story. So we'd been here about 6 months, and it's like November or late October of the first year we were here 3 years ago. And it had been raining for about.
That's my boy Lou right there, y'all. See that?
it had been raining for about 2 weeks. 3 o'clock in the morning, we hear this like, you know, a Navy klaxon on a battleship.
That's not a sound you want to hear at 3 in the morning.
And I see a red light flashing into my daughter's bedroom, and I'm like, what the hell?
Wow.
So I put on my waterproof boots, which you got to have here, and throw on a raincoat, and I go outside, and above where our septic tank switch off is on the outside wall on the side of our house, there's this red flashing light going off and an alarm.
Now, what is that all about?
The septic system was flooding.
Oh my goodness. From the rain?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and the guy who owned the property that I'm on, owned this house, this property before me, actually lives a couple properties over now.
Okay. So he just gave up some acreage and still doing good.
Yeah, he had this, and then he bought 22 acres down the street, and he built a custom house. And he raises, he and his wife raise llamas.
So come on now, really? Like camels, right? They're like smooth camels or something, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They refer to them as very large cats, which I think is funny. Anyway, so I called him at 3 a.m. and I said, I hate to wake you up, Phil. And he said, what, is the alarm going off on your septic system? I said, yeah, how'd you know? Because ours went off earlier today. I said, what the hell do I do? And you know what he says to me?
What did he say?
Give me 5 minutes, I'll come over.
Wow. And he took care of the problem?
No, I just want you to ponder that for a minute.
I did. I mean, because watch this. What I get from that is, if that had happened here in California and you were in distress like that, these Californians would be like, I'll get there tomorrow. I'll see what I can do for you tomorrow.
No, you know what they'd be saying? What? Shut the freaking alarm off, idiot.
Something along those lines. So yeah, for you living in Washington, it sounds like it's going great. I want to pick your brain real quick, Lou, before we go into the next break. And we do have
finish the story. Hang on.
Oh yeah, finish the story.
He comes over, overcoat, gloves, boots, and he shows me at 3 o'clock in the morning, me and my wife, how you work the manual release to pump out your septic tank, because we have a septic relief field that's over on another side of the property where it flows to. So
wow.
For an hour in a downpour at 3 o'clock in the morning, my neighbor is helping me empty my septic tank. So it's a little different.
Oh yeah, that's a little different. Now I want to pick your brain on something before we go to the break. What is your view on the election that's going on with Youngkin? Do you think he's going to win, or how do you think that's going to turn out?
I don't know if he's going to win. Just like I don't know if the guy in New Jersey is going to win, who's supposedly getting closer. But the fact that it's even close is a sign of just how badly the Democrats are taking on water.
Yeah. I heard that Biden's numbers are well below 20%, but they're not going to admit it.
Oh, they're horrible. Chuck Todd last Sunday on Meet the Depressed, because that's what it is now. The liberals on the show are all depressed.
I'll bet they are.
So bad. It was Halloween, of course, and he's all, it's Halloween and there's some scary numbers for the Democrats. And my jaw was on the floor.
That he even had to admit it, because if he's admitting that, it's worse than they're saying.
Democrats are getting like 37% support, and they are way underwater. And on the issues that they're winning on, get this, hang on, there are issues that they're winning on and issues that they're losing on. So they're winning on COVID,
Wow.
the environment,
Mm-hmm.
racism, and abortion.
All the things they created.
They're losing on the economy,
Mm-hmm.
the border, security, international relations. I mean, he went down the list. All the stuff that really matters,
They're done.
they're done.
Wow.
They're getting killed in the polls.
So then we should see some
All the
wins today.
independents. Well, look, I'm not gonna predict a win in blue states because of the cheating that goes on.
Yeah, rampant cheating.
But they are in trouble. They're
Okay.
in real trouble.
So I guess you're saying we may not get them in the sprint, which is the elections that are going down today, but they're going to probably take a hit in 2024.
Oh, I think the midterms are going to be a bloodbath.
Okay. And you know, coming
good
from
way.
you, that's like it's like Lou the Greek. You know what I mean? When it comes to you saying that's
You know
going
what?
to be something we
Actually,
can bet on.
I'm better at predicting NCAA and NFL football game lines than I am at elections. And by the way, another big change for me, I am a contract writer for StatSalt, one of the largest sports betting aggregation sites in the world.
Is that right?
So I'm a columnist.
Congratulations.
I do the Raiders beat and I do the Notre Dame Fighting Irish beat, and then I write a couple of other columns a week.
Wow.
So that's another little fun thing that I've taken on in my life. I always wanted to be a sports writer or a sports broadcaster just because I'm so into football.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm getting my opportunity to do now. I don't know if you heard this, but this is something of tragic news. Oakland Raiders second-year wide receiver Henry Ruggs killed someone in a DUI accident late last night.
I'm so sorry to hear that. That's going to be a perfect segue, Lou. I need to take us to a station break. The DUI
we have
situation.
A special guest coming up, right?
Yes. And it's ironic that we would be speaking about a DUI situation because Jimmy ROENICK is a success story. Did he have his struggles with alcoholism? Did he have his struggles with drugs? Yes, he did. But when we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring Jimmy ROENICK on the show as well. And he's going to show us what happened to his life and how he managed to make a total 180 with that. This is Ken White, host of the Southside Unicorn Show. We'll be right back after these messages. Go nowhere.
Hey, my name is Toot Sweet, and I'm New York City's original artist, singing for the cause of freedom. I've spent the last 10 years of my life documenting history through my music. It's like a recipe that's blessing me, bringing out the best of me, aggressively testing me to create my own destiny and understanding, universally accepting adversity and learn more lessons in life than you're learning any. And when I'm in need of a dose of reality to escape the liberal land of make-believe, I tune in to the Southside Unicorn, where the truth is as solid as New York City concrete. My name is Toot Sweet, and you're listening to my friend Ken White on the Southside Unicorn, and this party's just getting started.
Hey, it's Ken White, host of the Southside Unicorn Show, and we are back. We have our guest, Jimmy ROENICK, who is supposed to be joining us, but Jimmy is a regular guy. He's not a talk show host or anything like that, so I'm going to have to get him to turn his mic on. Are you there, Jimmy? You got to turn your mic on.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. Do you have a video?
I thought I did. I don't know why it's not connecting.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Here we go.
Click the little camera symbol.
Yeah, I just did. I don't know what it's doing, why it's doing that, but let's try it again.
Make sure your background is clear. There's nothing going on in the background that you don't want people to see.
No. Yeah, I'm not connecting. I don't know what's going on.
It's okay. We'll go forward like this. Now, Lou, when we were in the last part of the second segment, you were telling us some unfortunate news.
Yeah, this is really horrible. Second-year wide receiver with the Las Vegas Raiders, Henry Ruggs III, who is just starting to emerge as a star in the NFL this season, who had a great career at Alabama. He killed someone in a DUI accident last night at 3:39 a.m. Las Vegas time, he ran his Corvette into the back of a stopped Toyota SUV of some kind, and a woman in that vehicle was killed.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear.
He broke his hip and had several other non-life-threatening injuries. The police reports say that he was showing obvious signs of impairment at the scene, and he is going to be charged with vehicular manslaughter DUI with enhancements. And his career is over.
Oh, yeah.
As well as his life will never be the same, and there is a woman who is dead. And I've said about this before, my God, you're a multi-millionaire. Get a driver.
You would think. Now, Jimmy, I know this kind of cuts close to home for you, and you know it's an odd segue, but we may as well take advantage of it. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that, brother?
Yeah, I just don't get it. I guess I'm with Lou. Like, this guy's a multimillionaire. He just threw his life down the toilet over, I guess, an addiction or a problem. You know, I mean, it happens to everybody, but not on that level.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just poor choices. Just horrible choices. And you know, we ask ourselves what made us do that. I'm sure he'll be asking himself that for quite some time.
Mm-hmm. You know? And that's what I'm saying. Part of the reason we have you on the show is because you have this great success story. If I'm not mistaken, you yourself struggle with alcoholism too, right?
Yeah, alcohol and opiate pain pills, as well as some other things. I had some serious self-esteem issues that I had to overcome. And I struggled with a lot of things. I was obese. I was 420 pounds. You know, 420-pound guy that's addicted to Percocets and whiskey. That's not a good combination by any means.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm just lucky that I actually never got in a car and killed somebody, because that would be a tough thing to live with.
Yeah, you don't come back from that. I mean, no. You know, the fatal DUI is fatal to your future.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you came on the show, and Lou Desmond is my mentor. This is the man that brought me into the game. So
yeah.
Oh yeah. Many years ago, I was a co-host on his show, and he basically. Oh, there you are. I see you with your Nirvana shirt on, huh?
Yeah. I just.
Never mind.
What do you mean?
Never mind. Come on, man.
Nirvana shirt. Never mind.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, I get it now.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You guys are way behind me.
Lou, you got that covered. Right,
yeah.
Are you from Detroit, Lou?
No.
Oh.
I grew up in far northern California, and I spent a lot of time in Southern California as well as the Bay Area, and I now live in a very rural part of Washington State.
Okay. I don't know what made me think Detroit for some reason. I lived in Detroit for a while.
Because he's got that street savvy, gritty type of style to him. So now
I think that's it.
Watch this. You know, Jimmy.
They call me White Boy Lou.
See? There it is. So Jimmy, you got a new baby, you fell in love and all of that, but here we are talking about football stars blasting Corvettes through the back of people's cars. How did your life and your experience? I mean, when you're doing whiskey and Percocet, you got to be in a pretty interesting place, bro.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Interesting is not really the word I think I would look back at it on, but yeah, it kind of all ended for me one time. I took my daughter to the Columbus Zoo, and about 3 weeks prior to that, I had my legs had ballooned up to 5 times the normal size. I was weighing in at 420 pounds. And just a simple task of walking, like from the car to my daughter's classroom, was actually making me feel like I was going to drop dead.
Was excruciating.
And, yeah, it was tough. It was really tough. And I decided, you know, my daughter brought home this permission slip, and she said that, you know, she wanted me to go to the zoo with her in her class. You know, and I couldn't even breathe to walk 25 yards, man.
That's what I was saying. Your heart had to be doing overtime.
Oh, yeah, it was rough. It sounded like, I don't know if you're familiar with Van Halen, the Hot for Teacher with the 4 bass drums going. That's what my heart sounded like when I walked, man.
I got it made.
Yeah. Hot for teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the only thing that was hot was me at 420 pounds, man, sweating like a beast, you know.
There it is.
But Yeah, I tried to take my daughter to the zoo. We got in the gate. It was like 87 degrees that day. I sat down. I was going to pass out, and they took me to the hospital. So come to find out that I had abused myself to the point where I had aortic. I can never say the word right, but it's an aortic aneurysm.
Lou, what is he trying to tell us? What happened to him, Lou? What was that?
I'm sorry?
He said he's trying to say a word that's a tongue twister.
Aortic aneurysm.
See, I knew Lou could do it.
Lou got it. Yep. So yeah, I had that. It was brought on by pulmonary edema because I was actually a chain smoker too. I was in a rough place, man. No self-esteem, and I really, I guess when you have no self-esteem, you just don't care.
Do you feel like you were trying to take yourself out, bro?
No, not really. No, you know what? I've been asked that before, and I don't think so. I think it was just I was into the instant gratification of the things that these things could bring me. The alcohol, the cigarettes, the drugs, the food, it was all like an instant feel better, and so I think that's what I was going for. And I just took it to the extreme.
Is that you laying up in that bed with that bag?
That's me with the belly hanging out and the Led Zeppelin tattoo on my leg. That's me.
Oh man, you got Led Zeppelin on your leg and Nirvana on your chest?
That's right, yeah.
Wow. So
what was, hang on a second.
Mm-hmm.
This is always an interesting question to me. What was the moment that turned it around?
I'd like to say it was that day going to the hospital from the Columbus Zoo, but yeah, I don't think it was. There was a time, and I don't know if you'd read the little bio I sent, but I was hooked to an oxygen tank. I was
went all the way through it, brother. There's very, very compelling stuff in your bio. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was laying on the couch because I couldn't really do a whole lot else. I was supposed to be on oxygen 24/7. And I was just flipping through the channels, and I ran across this. I don't remember the exact show it was. It was one of the daytime talk shows. But I'll skip to the chase. I describe it a little more in my bio, but it was Tony Robbins speaking.
He's powerful.
Yeah, he's powerful, man. And you know what? The things he was saying, it was things I'd heard all my life, like family would say it to you or people would say it. But somehow when he said it, man, I believed it. It was like the things he was saying was just like, wow. So matter of fact, it was like, yeah, this makes sense. All of a sudden, all those things that I knew I should have been doing, it kind of made sense to me, man. So I was still hooked to an oxygen tube, and I was trying, when a 400-pound man tries to diet, it's not like you got to lose 5 or 10 pounds. You got a long way to go, man. So it gets kind of frustrating.
Yeah. You're working for it.
Yeah, and you're not getting a lot of results for what you're working for, and that big belly starts growling, man. It's tough. It's tough. But
so where are you at now? What's your mark?
Diet is one of my most hated 4-letter words.
Yeah, and a diet is BS. It don't work, man.
It doesn't
work.
Doesn't work. It's temporary.
Wow.
A diet, all a diet is well, to put it this way, the weight loss industry is a $78 billion, not million, billion-dollar a year industry. And all they do is create frustration to keep you in the industry. So you're just always a returning customer.
They're snake oil salesmen.
Yeah, wow. Exactly. My sister.
There's no quick fix to losing weight.
No. And there's no diet. It's got to be a lifestyle change. You have to change. It all starts, you got to change your thinking. Your mind's got to change first, because like Albert Einstein said, you can't fix a problem with the same mind that created the problem. It just doesn't work. You just can't do it. You have to work on your mind first. And if you get your mind right, everything else will fall into place. And that's kind of what happened for me.
So like Lou was saying something, there was a moment that you saying it was Tony Robbins and just boom, an epiphany, huh?
It was kind of an epiphany, and it kind of started out where I was just starting to read and listen to things. And it was like the more I read and listened to things, the more I wanted to hear and listen to and learn. Yeah. And it wasn't even so much concentrating on like getting myself into better physical condition. Man, I turned that TV off and I just started reading and listening and getting everything I could, man. I mean, I even read the Bible from front to back.
See, and that's what I was going to say, Jimmy. I was reading your bio. I wouldn't have you on the show without doing my homework, right? I read your stuff. It's good stuff in there. But you use the word blessed. So you use the word blessed a few times. And when you use that triggers my faith. And I'm like, are you a man of faith?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Outstanding.
Every day I wear it right on my heart.
There it is. There it is.
There it
Okay.
is.
I firmly believe in, this is just me, I think that most people who are alcoholics and drug addicts, there are those that it's a chemical, physical dependency, and it happens almost immediately the first time they take a drink or a hit or a toke or whatever it is. But then I think the vast majority of people that have addiction problems, they're trying to cover something up and fill something.
Mm-hmm.
And that hole that they're trying to fill, they can't ever fill because what they're missing is God.
Amen.
Right. Exactly. Amen. Amen. But I do have I have an interesting theory about addicts and alcoholics. And I use this.
Well, Jimmy, I'm gonna ask you to hold on to that thought for 1 second because we got to bring some money up in this show. So that means we got to do a station break. Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, Jimmy and Lou are going to have a conversation that's going to be spurred by a question that yours truly wants to ask to both of them, because I see some symbiotic energy here, and maybe the two of them are going to help answer a question that one of you might need answered out there. So you don't want to miss this. Go nowhere. We'll be right back after these messages.
It's Joy Villa, and I'm reminding you to tune in to the Southside Unicorn Show, hosted by my friend Ken White.
Do just what you want. You're the one I trust. I belong to you.
Hey, it's your boy Ken White, host of the Southside Unicorn Show. And believe it or not, we're in the last segment. This show goes so fast. It's been nice having my mentor, Lou Desmond, come on. I kind of miss him, you know, no homo, just straight guy, but I miss the guy, and it'd be nice to catch up with him and get some of that apple cider from him, you know what I'm saying? But today we got Jimmy on the show, and Jimmy's story from obese to beast. And I got it. Let me just spell that. From OBESE to BEAST. That's a hell of a title, brother. From obese to beast.
That's
so
right.
How can people get a hold of you if they want to hear your story or read your bio, brother?
They can email me at Jimmy ROENICK, and I spell it out for you, JIMMYROENICK @gmail.com. Or they can go to my Facebook page, Motivation and Coaching by Jimmy. You'll know it's me because the same picture's up there. And
same one's
I'm the
behind
only
us,
guy.
huh?
Yeah,
So you're a motivational speaker, right?
I'm trying to be. I haven't given up my day job yet. I'm working on it.
Yeah, I tried that, but after the first couple of sessions, they let me go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just kept telling people they were stupid and needed to pull their head out of their ass. And apparently that was not what they were looking for in a motivation.
Yeah.
I thought
they want you to be a little more sensitive, I think.
I thought I was being very clear with them, but apparently not what they wanted me to say. So
yeah,
Well, it all depends on who you're motivating and what kind of motivation they need. Some people need to be rubbed and caressed. Some people just need to be shown the errors of their ways. And some people is like, if you don't you
need to slap them in the ear. Slap them in the ear and tell them they're doing something stupid. Stop that.
There it is.
Yeah.
Apparently that's not, well, let's just say that career didn't work out for me.
That don't work too much. So Jimmy, are you still with the same person, or did you meet someone new after you came on the other side?
No, I'll tell you what, I have the most wonderful wife right now. Less than a year, and we're still in the honeymoon phase.
Oh, you still new? Yeah, y'all still new.
Yeah, but I mean, she's wonderful. She's so good, man. She's really good for my self-esteem and like, she thinks I'm something, and that's all that matters, man.
That's all that matters.
The other one was kind of, you read the bio. I don't want to get into it.
I know. And watch this. We all got people like that in our lives. I call them anti-cheerleaders.
A bad woman is like a ring in the nose of a pig. Is that the Proverbs?
It's close to it, yeah.
Something like that.
Close.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, the wrong woman in your life can be absolutely toxic and destructive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're telling me. You're preaching to the choir, man.
I have seen it, and I have had it happen to me once, and Yeah, boy, that's bad news.
And here's the funny part about that. That particular person may very well be a very nice person. They may get along with everybody else great, but for whatever reason, that combination of you and him is just bad, you know?
Yeah.
So you overcame that, Jimmy, because like I said, I went through your bio and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, but then when I'm sitting there looking at you're at the 400-pound mark and you're still doing the Percocet and whiskey, bruh. I mean, court cases got to be up in there somewhere, right?
What is that? I'm sorry.
There's got to be some court cases attached to that. I mean, child custody battles and all that stuff, right?
No, you know what? I stayed in that marriage for a long time. I have a 21-year-old daughter. I stayed till she was 18 and a half.
Wow.
You
stuck it out for the good of the kids, huh?
I did. I make the joke that I kind of tunneled my way out like that old Hogan's Heroes TV show. Like I was tunneling my way out of that marriage.
Digging with a spoon?
The greatest
yeah, with a spoon. And
Tim Robbins,
in my pocket.
Tim
like
Robbins,
Shawshank
Redemption.
Yeah.
That's
crawled through a sewer to get up to the other side.
Man, I'd have chewed my own arm off to get away from that woman. I'm telling you, she was rough.
So, okay, we got a football player who just ran a Corvette through the back of someone's car, took their life. The man made poor choices, like Jimmy was saying. It's all about choices. And Lou said, "Get a limo driver." Which, come on, you could do.
If I was that wealthy, I would have a wingman with me wherever
all the time.
I went, anywhere.
Pay that dude 30 grand a year and you got somebody.
Somebody gave me a roofie, or I just imbibe a little too much. I have Captain Sober who's with me, who goes, "Lou, you've had enough. Give me the car keys. I'm driving. Get in the car."
Exactly. It's that time.
And if I try to drive, I've authorized him in a contract to knock me the F out.
Oh, you mean to motivate you to do some motivation?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, if it's what it takes to get me to stop from getting behind the wheel drunk,
exactly,
then please do that. You're doing me a favor.
That's true. And see, Lou, I'm not gonna put your business out there, but I'm gonna give you the opportunity to do some symbiotic sharing with Jimmy.
You want to know about my past?
Let's do it.
Look, I was in the theater department in college, okay? I was in the theater department in graduate school. I made my living as a stage actor and television and film actor for a number of years in my 20s. And when I wasn't doing that, I was working in the restaurant and bar industry. So when it comes to certain motivational white powders and alcohol, been there, done that. I did your share and Kenny's share and somebody else's share and a bunch of other people's shares. So, yeah, but I was functional in that I always skated right up to the line of total disaster and somehow managed to avoid it.
So,
and there are people that can do that, and then there are people that can't.
Just crash and burn. No pun intended. They crash and burn, you know?
And at any one moment, had I made a slightly different, slightly wronger decision than I was already making, I could be where Henry Ruggs is today.
Wow. And see, that's what I'm saying. I got Jimmy here. I got you here. Jimmy, what was one of your near disasters or almost bad choices that you can share so that other people can learn from it? Is there anything like that going on?
I mean, there's a lot of them.
Pick one.
I think driving myself into a aortic aneurysm and heart failure, that was probably the worst of it. I had a DUI when I was younger. Didn't hurt anybody, thank God. I kind of drove through a dead end road sign and ended up in somebody's yard.
Whoa.
Kind of woke him up, and then the next thing I knew, the sheriff was there and I was in handcuffs. But
you was on your way.
Yeah, I was on my way, man. That was no fun. And I spent 5 days in jail for that, but that was when I was about 30 years old. But one thing I'm always thankful for is when I would be drinking, most of the time I would be at home, or I would be, you know, someplace where I was safe.
Yeah.
I kind of learned my lesson from the DUI when I was younger. It kind of scared the daylights out of me because, you know, I was driving a car that wasn't mine. I pretty much totaled the car. It cost me a whole bunch of money and attorney fees and
a friendship probably too.
Yeah, it did cost me a friendship. Absolutely. So yeah, that I kind of learned my lesson there. So anytime I would drink at home. If I went to a bar, it was either a taxi or an Uber or something like that. But most of the time it was just at home in my garage, or, you know, I'd be with friends. Now friends would do stupid things. And I've been in cars with friends that shouldn't have been in cars.
Had no business behind the wheel. So let me ask you this while I got you here, Jimmy. If you were going to take a piece of your motivational from obese to beast, and you were going to share it with the people, because there's a lot of people who listen to this show.
Yeah.
What would you say to them?
I would say you got to, I actually have three things, if that's okay.
Go for it. That's why you're here.
Is you got to be honest with yourself. You got to look yourself in the mirror and you got to say, this is where I'm at. Do I want to be here? Do I not want to be here? And you have to be honest with the fact of what you need to do to get to where you want to go. That's the first thing you have to do. The second thing you got to do is you got to keep every promise you make to yourself. You make yourself a promise, you keep it. If you're trying to quit smoking, say, hey, I'm going to smoke 2 cigarettes this hour, and keep that promise. Because what that's going to do is that's going to build your self-esteem and your self-confidence. And the last thing goes along with that is every time you keep a promise to yourself, you celebrate that win, man. You savor it. You keep it fresh. You think, hey, I did it, man. That's great.
Okay.
You know,
encourage yourself.
You pat yourself on the back, because you know what? You're the only one that's going to do it. You know, other people will do it, but they're not going to be as sincere as you are. You got to relish that stuff. I think it's too easy to dwell on negativity and think, oh man, I was supposed to be dieting and I ate something I shouldn't. Oh, well, you know, it's over with now. No, it's not over with. Get past it.
I think it's really important that people set realistic goals.
Right.
Because if you set unrealistic goals, every time you don't meet it, you get more depressed. And that makes it very hard to stick to it. Like, I don't expect that I am going to go run 5 miles in 30 minutes anymore.
That's not going to happen.
Not happening. In fact, I'm not running 5 miles. I'm not doing it. I'm just not. And I also know I'm not going to weigh 182 pounds again any day soon. But I also have a limit of, look, I'm not getting above 205. And if I do, then I've got to, so I'm not, you got to be realistic. You can't say, I'm going to lift 500 pounds again, and I'm going to, no, you're not. You're not where you were when you were.
Well, you could try it, but you'll probably pop something.
Yeah. You're not where you were when you were 25. And if you're someone who has a substance abuse problem, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
So, because are you saying that it's always with you, that no matter, even when you're okay, it's still there? Is that what I'm hearing?
You asking me or him?
I'm asking both of you. One at a time.
Well, you know, I think it can be, but here's the kick to that. This is what I was trying to get to before the break. You know, people that are addicts or alcoholics, or even people that are compulsive eaters, man, they can focus. You know what I mean? Like, you take a drug addict and tell them they can't find drugs, they're going to find drugs. You know, you take an alcoholic and tell him he needs to quit drinking, he's going to figure a way to drink without you knowing it. You know, so if you can flip the script on that focus, those people can be powerful people, man. They just got to stop.
Just get them off that track and put them on another train.
Yeah, there's a movie called Get Him to the Greek where they were talking to. Yeah, love that film.
Love it.
And he says, you know, he was clean for a year and he did yoga 5 hours a day. She says, but you can make heroin out of anything, you know, and that's kind of the point. You can take, I know I'm so successful working out and doing the things I do because I have an addictive personality. I've just learned to flip that. You know, I flip it to positive things. I turn to God. I turn to working out. I turn to, you know, my grandkids, things like that. And I think that goes right back to being honest. Be honest with yourself what you want, and you got to be honest what it's going to take to do it.
So
you know what I mean?
Let me put this in there real quick, because earlier in the show, and you'll probably check this out, Jimmy, when you see the whole show. Lou has changed locations. Lou is now in the great state of Washington, and my man is living the lifestyle. It's peaceful, got farm animals and all that stuff. But I'm looking through your back window there, Jimmy, and that looks like an urbane type of situation there. Is that conducive to you being okay, or do you think you need to change your environment too?
No, I'm going to tell you what happened is I was running behind today. Like I said, I didn't quit my day job.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on my way home, and I'm like, we're never going to make it back to the house to do this interview. Pull over. I'm going to set up the tripod. We'll do it right now. So,
Kenny?
Yes?
This is something that addicts, alcoholics, compulsive people know. No matter where you go, there you are.
Absolutely.
The environment will not change you. You bring you wherever you go. If your life is chaos and disaster because you're doing methamphetamines and drinking a gallon of vodka every day, I don't care if I put you in an isolated cabin in the woods, you are going to drag that chaos and all of that somehow to you. You will meet somebody, find somebody, and you'll get it. It's just the way alcoholics and addicts are. The change has to come from within. It cannot come from without.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And that's, guys, this has been a great show. And that's why, Lou, it's always nice to see you. When you get back to California, give a brother a holler,
Will do.
That's going to be
every couple weeks.
Okay. Then I'm looking forward to catching up with you. Jimmy, I brought you on the show so that you could share your life story with people and how you went from addictions to being the solid man that I see inside this video right now. You got the cross on you and everything, brother, take a minute or two and just talk to the people. I want to give the last word to Lou because I don't get to see him that often, but Jimmy, go ahead and holler at the people.
Yeah, I just think if there's something you really want to change in your life, you just need to be honest with yourself. You got to focus and you got to do it. I mean, there's ways to do it. I think we all know when we're doing something wrong, it doesn't feel good. I mean, we just need to figure out how to get ourselves on the right track. And if I can do it, anybody can do it, man. I was a lost cause and I found my way, but I do think the first place to look is to look to God, and to pray.
Amen.
It did wonders for me, man.
We all have our stories that led us to the cross. I got mine too. They're not, drug related, but I have my issues, and my issues did not even begin to clear up until I put my eye on Jesus. Lou, out of respect to you being my mentor and my Obi-Wan Kenobi, we got about a minute left. It's yours, brother.
Well, thank you for having me on the show, Kenny, you Southside Unicorn, you, Jimmy. It was great to talk to you, and I am so glad for your success. It's important for people that have had issues to share their stories, because so many people are out there thinking that they're the only one and it's unique to them and their suffering and struggles. There's something nobody else has ever gone through and can't, and that's not true.
No, not at all.
Other people have overcome it, and you can too. Just like Jimmy, just like me, just like Ken, we're all flawed individuals in need of God's care and love. So reach out and set realistic goals and put God first place, and you'll get there.
Amen. That's what we wanted to share with you, ladies and gentlemen. And you know how we do it on the Southside Unicorn
Thanks,
Show.
Kenny.
You're welcome, brother. Thank you for coming on. You out?
I'm out.
All right. Hey, listen here. There's no place I'd rather be. There's nothing more I'd rather do than being right here doing this show for you. This is Ken White, host of the Southside Unicorn Show, and we are out. Take care, Jimmy.
Take care, Ken.
Mm-hmm.